Thank you. My name is Lynn Rasick, and I am from the Connecticut Center for Advanced Technology. We're located on Pickens Street in East Hartford, and I'm a program specialist there in an area called workforce development. And in workforce development, I help people understand who they are, what their skills and their competencies are, and I assist them in finding jobs in manufacturing. My focus happens to be manufacturing or manufacturing-related work. So I'd be glad to answer any questions about that as well today. So what we're going to talk about today is I want to get to know who you are. So I've asked everyone if they could put their name on this sheet. So you're going to start with your first letter. And after that, using that letter, I want you to complete it with a word that describes who you are. Okay, so you still have a little bit more to do? Okay. All right, we're gonna start because, and I'm gonna tell you something that I observed that's really great, is that friends validate what your skills and competencies are. So the fact that you're asking each other and helping each other out, that's really important because we can't do it on our own. We need other people to kind of validate and tell us, yeah, you are an interesting person, or yeah, you are fun, or you're joyful. So it's a good activity, and it's great to get some feedback from other people. So let's start over here. So I want you to introduce yourself.
I'm not ready yet.
You're not? Okay, we'll help you when you're ready. Go ahead.
My name is Israel.
Israel.
And for I put.
Okay, let's give Israel the
For
attention.
I put interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an interesting person. For S, I put sweet, because I'm sweet. For R, I put responsible. 90% of the time, I'm responsible.
Improving every day.
Yeah, improving every day. Yeah. For A, I put astounding. For E, I put excellent. And then for L, I put legit.
Thanks. Good, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And Alfredo?
Oh yeah, mine's Alfredo. I put A for awesome, L for living, F for flexible, R for respectful, E for excellent. I put, wait, I don't know if this is right. I put designated. forgot.
What does that mean, like designated?
I think I thought of it of a different meaning, so.
Okay. What were you thinking it meant?
Like I'm right for that spot.
Okay.
I forgot. I'm
I
sure
get
I'm
it.
wrong,
I get it.
but
Okay.
and then in a good way, I put odd. So like okay. So I'd like I'm not like other people. I'm out there. I'm more like I'm more put out there than other people. So.
Great. Interesting. Nice to meet you. Good. Caitlin.
I'm Caitlin. For kind. For K, I put kind. For A, I put amazing. For T, I put talented. For E, I put excellent. For L, I put likable. For Y, I put young. And for N, I put nice.
Wait, for what?
Nice to meet you.
And
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, for J, I put joyful, A, attractive, B, determined, E, elegant, N, nice, and E, ethic.
E what?
Ethic.
Ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Jadine?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Okay, I'm Brittany. I'm bright. I'm very respectful, intelligent. Not really, but I'm smart. I'm very truthful, trustworthy, I'm attentive, nice, and I couldn't think of anything for why.
Young.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
I don't feel that.
I think of.
I was supposed to say youthful.
Yeah, I have a Y in my name too, and that always stumps me. I use young because that could be good for
I was
me.
gonna
But because I'm not as young as you, but
You said you use Y for what?
no, it's in my name,
Yes.
LY. So I use youth
Oh,
or
I thought you said
youthful.
young.
or young, and that's like energetic. I see it as energetic and active and that type of thing.
Okay.
So So it was nice to meet all of you, and
So
go ahead, Ed, do you wanna,
Oh,
E
for energetic
Yes.
and D for determined.
what do you guys think? Do you think that's true? Can
Yes.
you validate that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and how about, can you validate that they are those kind of people?
Most definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
great, great.
That's
So let me ask you, so why is self-assessment important? Why is it an important thing to know who you are? How does it help you?
it helps you grow.
It helps you
Yeah,
know what you
to-
could do in life.
It does help you to grow if you know who you are.
Okay. And how do you find out more about yourself?
You try different things every day. I mean,
Like-
that's how I find out things about myself. I try different things every day.
Right. What did you try today so far?
Today, I mean, when I first came to Synergy, I'm not gonna lie, I was slacking. My grades were low, and I was never like that at the high, so I just put my foot down. I started doing all my work again, and all my grades went back up.
Great.
Yeah.
Good for you. Anyone else? Why assessment is important, and what have you done that adds to it? I think of famous people. Okay, athletes, singers, actresses, actors, anyone famous that you know. Do you think, how did they get to know about themselves, and how does knowing about yourself help you in your career?
Probably their process of doing what they love most. So there's this rapper called Eminem, and time by time he would rap people on the streets. He wasn't so much into school, so ninth grade he quit school, and he just kept on doing stuff that he loved the most. And time after time he would also do like study on the dictionary, but also he learned about like stuff like about himself, like his daughter, and remembered about her and everything and his surroundings. He realized how many cruel people there can be, and yeah.
That's like a beautiful example, okay?
you.
So Eminem was just a normal guy who, was talking it up, and we had this gift, and how did the gift get reinforced?
You start putting
Became a
yourself
rapper.
out there.
Pardon me?
You start putting
Yeah.
yourself out there.
Exactly, and someone recognized him, and someone recognized his talent. So he believed in himself, and he believed in his craft and what he was doing, and that's how he became famous. That was a perfect example, Alfredo. How about another example?
To be honest, I don't really check up on celebrities, I can't tell you.
Yeah, that's okay.
So
How about someone, go ahead.
But think of that in terms of self-assessment. So Eminem had talent, and he understood that he had talent. If someone else who wanted to be a rapper just was no good, did that same exact thing, would they be effective? Would they make millions of dollars if they didn't have talent?
No.
So back to the self-assessment piece. Why is it important to know ourselves and know what we're good at?
Because if you know yourself, you can actually make profit of it. Like, say like beatboxing, for example. There's a few beatboxers out there that are famous for what they do, and if they really enjoy it that much, they can make just millions of dollars just from what they do.
And so the money is a piece of it, but then also something you like to do. So if I want to go into a medical profession, and I cannot, when I see blood, I get all spooked out and grossed out. Would that be a good career choice for me?
No.
No. And so,
Unless you can face your
Lynn,
fears.
if she's trying to find the next great manufacturer, trying to look at a pile of applicants and try to figure out who should be hired to work in the manufacturing realm. If she's looking at an application and it says there's someone, I don't like math at all, or I don't like using my hand, and it says a lot of things that don't go hand in hand with being in manufacturing, what do you think she's going to do?
Put it aside. She's not gonna look at it.
That's a really good point. I mean, I think that you can only be great at what you're good at, okay? So we can say that we want to be this or we want to be that, but we have to have the skills and competencies that go along with it, and that's why self-assessment is so important. So I am just gonna have you, I love assessments, okay? Like a lot of people say, oh, I don't wanna take an assessment, it's a test, and, you know, what will it mean, and will you judge me? And I love assessments because I think it helps you know more about yourself. And so that you can, and remember, you can ask your friends to validate, but the ultimate decision on what your skills and competencies are lies with you. So if you say, I'm good at that, and you feel it, then you are good at it, and you will continue to be good at it. So I feel like self-assessments, different questions and tools give us the ammunition that we need to move forward and to know more about ourselves. So I have that right there. I'm gonna hand out this thing. So this, you might have seen this before, okay? This test, it's actually an acronym for 6 areas of interest that was developed back, I think it was the 60s, by a gentleman named John Holland. And the areas are this. Tell me if you've heard of these. Realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Have you heard about those terms before in terms of self-assessment or career development?
Yes.
If you haven't, as you continue on, you will hear more about them. And that's what this test is based on. So I want you to follow the instruction. And so this test is really easy. So you're gonna read the statement and you're gonna see the circle. If you agree with the statement, you're gonna fill in the circle. If you don't agree, you just pass on. Okay, so let me give you about 3 minutes. It's a quick test and you're gonna go through the 42 questions. when you're done, you're gonna add up the circles that you colored in, you're gonna add them up in each column. So on the left side, you're gonna add them up, and on the right side, you're gonna add them up, and you're gonna come up with your totals. So do you know what I mean by that?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Okay, so the column, you know, the first column, if you colored in one circle, you'll put a 1.
I finished.
You did yours already. So do you know your whole thing already? Okay. So,
Yeah.
how are you doing? Yeah. Great.
Okay, so you don't have a bar right now. You have 1 I. You have 3 A's.
One, yep, in and out. What you're gonna do is match these up. So for R, first R, 3, yep, and then you're just gonna add I to I, A to A, and then
No I.
so you can write down all your things right here. Yes, that is 3. You gotta write them down. You gotta write down the letters.
Alright.
So you'll have a total of 2 R's.
Yeah.
You have 1 I. Yeah. You have 5 A's. You have 4 F's. 3 E's and 4 C's. So right here you have 2 6, 1 investigative, 5 artistic, 4 1. The high score is A, social, and also conventional. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah.
Just like the aspect. Well, the end part. Because the aspect do something.
The best thing
Mhm.
to start with. I think it was.
Exactly.
Are you good?
Sorry about that.
So you have your code at the bottom?
Yes. Definitely.
Oh, okay. Here. You spelled C.
They do, yeah.
So I was just saying to Ed, so everybody's done, you all have your code?
Yes.
Okay. So I took this probably for the first time when I was in high school. It was called the Strong Campbell Interest Inventory. It was a big inventory. And I took it, and the score I got that day is the same score I get today. So I was just saying that it provides a foundation. I think it's really important that you need to know what is important to you in terms of interest. Now, this is not skills. It's not what you can do. It's not what you know. It's all about interest. And it's a great springboard for where you're going in life, in your careers. So I'm going to have each of you tell me a little bit about your code, and then I have some descriptions of what it means, okay? So let's start over here. Brittany, what's your code?
I have SAC.
SAC, okay? And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about your first letter, because your first letter is your most important. Okay, so S is social. So this is what, anyone who has an S, this is what S means. Social. People like to work directly with people rather than things. They enjoy training, instructing, counseling, or curing. They are often good public speakers with helpful, empathetic personalities. There are jobs in government, human service, law, public safety, and marketing and sales. Okay, does that sound like your interest areas?
Yes.
Good. Okay, how about
ASC.
ASC? Okay, so A is artistic. People like to work in unstructured situations where they can use creativity and come up with new ideas. They enjoy performing in theater or music and the visual arts. They like jobs in arts and communication, education, and training. Sound like you?
Not really.
No. What's your second one?
S.
Okay, so that's the social, and what's the third one?
C.
C. Okay, C is conventional. All right, so this is what's kind of interesting about your code. It's a combination of everything. So artistic, although it's coming up as one, it's not a very sophisticated test. Like maybe if you took a more sophisticated test, one of your other scores might come up. Let me tell you about conventional. Conventional people are very detail oriented. They like to work with data. They have good organization and numerical abilities and are good at following instructions. Conventional people like to work in a more structured setting. Architecture, construction, finance, manufacturing, and transportation. That's more you. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So, and it's always nice to play on your whole code. So even though that might be your main strength, you might end up doing something like that in an artistic organization, a theater organization, or an architectural firm, or something like that. Okay? Okay. Caitlin, what was your code?
ASR-E.
A,
S,
S, so artistic, social,
R, and I had two of the same, so I put -E.
realistic and enterprising you have. So let me talk to you a little bit about that, okay? So realistic people are often good at mechanical or athletic jobs. They like to work with things like machines, tools, or plants. They're very good with their hands. They're often practical and good at solving problems. Agriculture, information technology, law, and public safety. Okay, and you have that tied with enterprising. People like to work with other people. They enjoy influencing, persuading, and performing. They tend to be assertive and enthusiastic. They take jobs in the arts, communications, business and management, finance, hospitality. Does that sound like you?
Yes, it does.
Do any of the, you know, this is the other thing, do any of them sound more like you? If you had to pick one out of all of them, the artistic, we have the artistic, social, enterprising, realistic, and conventional. I'm gonna give you the sheet, it's probably gonna be hard for you, but like, do you feel more attached to one?
Social.
You feel you're more the social. Okay, that's important to know. Okay, you'd rather work with people rather than things. That will be important to you, okay? Good, thank you for sharing. Alfredo, how about you? What's your code?
I got RSE.
R, realistic, S, social, and E, enterprising. Okay, so the realistic, people are good at mechanical or athletic jobs. They like to work with things, machines, tools, or plants, and they like to work with their hands. Is that you?
Sort of.
And what's your second one?
Mechanical was right. S
Okay,
and E.
social and enterprising. Okay, working with people is second for you.
Yeah.
And then enterprising is really kind of, I always say it's that entrepreneurial spirit, like you know, it's just a drive, wanting to get ahead.
Yeah.
Enterprising.
Mine's a C. Like literally, like C, S-E-A.
Oh, your first one is C?
No.
Oh,
SEA.
S-E-A, that's my code.
C.
S-E-A. Okay, social, enterprising, artistic. Okay. So does that sound like you, the social piece, liking to work with people?
Yeah, the social piece, yeah.
Okay. And then the enterprising, you enjoy influencing, persuading, and performing. You're assertive and enthusiastic.
Okay.
And the last one is
E-A.
Enterprising.
artistic.
Oh.
Okay.
I was thinking about that.
You know what? Don't ever keep your codes, okay? I don't know if your guidance department or something, they might have more literature on it because they have jobs. Like according to your 3-digit code, there are jobs that they recommend for people that combine all of your interests.
Yeah. So guys, remember how a few weeks ago we did the online survey? So it was there was like 180 questions. You guys kind of complained about. Like, oh my God, it's such a long test. Yeah. So essentially,
Is that what it was?
Yeah. So it was through Mass CIS, but
Okay.
remember how you would click on each individual area and then it would give you like a list of different careers.
So that's what it was doing, it's kind of calculating that?
Yes.
Okay, that's important stuff to pay attention to. And how about you, Ed, what did you?
So I had
a new one.
investigative, social, and then I tied for realistic and conventional.
Interesting. Okay, so I'll just say a little bit about investigative, because that was the one that none of you had. So investigative people like to watch, learn, analyze, and solve problems. They often like to work independently. They're very good at math, science, and enjoy analyzing data. So I'm just gonna say that for manufacturing, if you ever wanna come in, that's like, we look for that investigative thing. That's really important to us. In addition to artistic, which is kind of interesting. But we like that problem-solving, creative type of person that comes into manufacturing. So is that what you usually come out with?
I consider myself more social, but I mean it does sound about right.
Right, social and
Yeah,
investigative.
and now for me, it always seems that my code is constantly changing. But I think if anything, it kind of speaks to Israel's point that as I go through and I have more experiences, and I find things that I'm much more, things that I enjoy more than others. So
Do you always kind of stay with those three, or?
yes,
Yeah, interesting, okay. So maybe this is the beginning of, what your interests are. So I encourage you to continue to pursue looking at those areas for interest. So I'm gonna pass this out, or I'll ask you.
Yeah, sure.
So that just has the areas that we looked at, the 6 areas that you'll see throughout your lifetime, because the work that this gentleman did, John Holland, those are the areas that everybody uses for career development. And then it has a description of those areas.
Awesome.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, I want to end, because we're going to end, I want to end with a quote. Does anybody have a quote that they want to share with us about being the best you could be, or anything like that? Anything from a song or something that you personally say to yourself? Anybody have anything they want to share?
I mean, my motto is always fight for what you love. Or fight for what you want.
Perfect. Fight for what you want, fight for what you love. I love that.
Keep climbing until you reach the top.
Absolutely. Give me something.
Can I have, excuse me, while we're thinking of a quote, can I make sure that we give Lynn a round of applause and thank her for her time?
You guys are awesome, really. I can't emphasize that enough. I want you to stay positive and continue to look at your strengths. I appreciate your respectfulness. I appreciate the fact that, we were able to talk all together. And if you ever want to call me for anything, feel free. I have a card, and I'll give it to Ed. And if you have any questions about manufacturing, please feel free to call me.
So Lynn's on our advisory panel as well, and so when she heard about the set, was one of the first people to say, I want to come in and speak. So very thrilled. When we get our van, we can maybe even do a field trip there. So excellent.